and Circular Champions member, Senior Vice President, Mrs. Patricia Brew, to the call. The call's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Francis. Thank you for that lovely presentation. And, oh, hold on one second. Thank you, Francis. Thank you. I didn't have my microphone on. Thank you, Francis, for that lovely presentation. Thank you also, Mr. Anthony Ranjit, for your testimony. It was, I didn't realize you were that long. You're almost a veteran. And also Mr. Panand for your testimony and also the presentation. I'd like to welcome all of you to this presentation and your commitment every week or month to keep the business rolling, keep the flame going, right? Now that we're in the Olympics, right? And I just wanted to share a couple of concepts that I have with you on when my husband and I started 16 years ago. And one of the things that we really found was that it was an awesome opportunity. However, not everybody believed in us. I have to say that many times people said, great, that's wonderful for you, but not interested. And also they had a little bit of doubt in the fact that whether or not it was going to work for us even as well. And this is one of the big roadblocks that we get when we start, because we find it personally as an excellent opportunity, but how do we transmit that to others? This is what's the most important part of the business, because if it's all just for you, nobody gets to know about the business, your business doesn't grow. So I have this presentation, a short presentation that I'd like to share, where I can show you a little bit what it was for us when we first started, because it wasn't so easy in the beginning, even though we had success in other businesses. And as Francis said as well, you know, he was in another business and maybe it was working well, but he wanted something that was going to last for him. And our business was going very well, but in that financial debacle that was about 15 years ago, we found that we needed to find something that was solid, working in other not just in what we were doing, but being able to, and funny enough, we were opening up franchises for other people. And when we saw this concept and we saw how much it was to get started, and we thought every month, wow, that's a deal. So what happens when people don't believe in you? And what do you do when people don't believe in you? Most of the time when we start something, I mean, I think of these great inventors and great, like Elon Musk, perhaps, or, you know, the founder of, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. These people, when they created a new venture, they needed to find out who needed to know so they could build their business. And not always was it easy for them, or did people believe in them? And we find the same thing. We find that we don't really have that friendly persuasion. We find out who our real friends are and who our real friends aren't. And I'm sure I'm saying, I'm speaking to the choir here, because this happens to everyone when they get started on a new venture, no matter how wonderful it is. And, you know, maybe it could be a flop. How do we know? Do these people need to believe in you so that you can believe in you? This is really important. And this is what we needed to do when we first started. And we were successful. And I always thought that I was a successful person. However, when you come across a roadblock, you need to find how to get other people on board. Look, one of the things is that many times we think that other people's beliefs are what keeps us from going. And I have to realize my own self that we're not really affected by what other people believe. We're affected by our own thoughts. And these thoughts are what actually block our final potential or our results. And these thoughts are habits that we build every day, habits that we have to undo when we build a new venture, any kind of new venture. Habits, doubts that we have, doubts in our own capability, attitudes. Many times our ego gets in the way of what we think we need to do or what we think we are. We have to strip away our own beliefs of ourselves and get down to basics, get real with ourselves. And obviously also expectations. Many times, yes, it's all wonderful. Hey, you guys are doing great. Wow. But that's not really something that I can do. So it's so important if our SVP potential is blocked by all of these habits, we need to look and say, hey, is this the result I want? I love the business. I love what I'm doing. However, can I make money on this enough to live? One of the things that I like that Francis Augustine has there, remember your why. Remember why you started. Because when you think about why you started, when you think about the what for, because yeah, I want to be an SVP, but what for? What is that actually going to bring to me? Because we really need to start a new path on our own attitude and our own mindset. An event triggers a thought, and that thought creates a feeling. We feel how this could be, how it could not be, whether we're really able to do something. If right now somebody called us to do a TED Talk, would we be ready? What would we think? What would we do? How would we be? Our feelings would drive our actions. We might say, oh, I'm busy, I can't right now. Oh, well, yeah, that's great, but I have my agendas blocked all the way till December, when actually scared stiff about maybe doing a talk on a TED Talk, right? Our actions ultimately create our results. So we really need to say, are these the results that I really want? Are these the results? Why am I getting these results? How do I feel when I get these results? Maybe if we back it up and we go, wow, whoa, what am I thinking? I really need to look at what I'm feeling to see why I'm getting these results. The truth is that we're always looking for permission to be, rather than find that permission inside ourselves. And we tend to put more weight on other people's opinions than our own. We might think, oh, wow, yeah, maybe I can do this. But if somebody says, you can do this, then that it gives us more faith in ourselves sometimes. Like when we find people outside of ourselves, possibly a mentor saying, hey, you can do that. In fact, we have that in the ACN family. Our uplines, our sidelines, our love lines, as Francis says, our love lines are telling us, you can do it. And what we really, really want is our own approval. Yikes, did I make this decision correctly? Is this good for me? Can I really do something with this? How am I going to make this happen for other people? So sometimes with so much decision making, we actually get decision fatigue. In fact, there's a study that says, there's so many sizes of you know, when you go to McDonald's, whether you want a, you know, extra, extra, extra large or extra, extra, extra small, or, you know, people say, just give me a coffee. I don't want, you know, it's too much thought process. So what we really need to do is build our own belief. And if we don't have belief, is we need to find and borrow that belief from somebody else. You know, I was listening to Mike Mazer, and he was a car salesman too, you know, and I have to say that every time I listen to him, he just strips it down to 15 minutes of what to do. And I go, wow. And I'm in the business too. You know, I just admire what he does. And other people too, you know, the women in the business and the founders themselves, they're doing tours all summer and visiting people and saying, hey, here we are, and using their success as evidence helps us build our own belief. You know, doubt is only a thought. It's not a fact. Our own doubts, our own beliefs, they're not facts. They're just beliefs, and we can change them and we can make them mean something. If we don't make them mean anything, well, then they're nothing for us. So let's find these beliefs. Let's find the credibility that we need to make our business stronger, our business thrive. Okay, so one of the things is that we have to like not overthink it anymore. You know, one of the things that I realized, because even though I was very successful in that business that we had, and we were opening franchises for other people, it wasn't easy opening up a franchise in another country. I mean, it was already a headache finding what you do to get people to open franchises here in Spain, but getting to open them in the UK or in Portugal was a nightmare, because you need to know so many other things. And what I realized was that what I needed to do was get over myself, that I didn't need to pretend or to think that, you know, I needed to know everything. I could just log on to and access a worldwide pool of knowledge with the people that were doing the business already. As Mike Mazer says, is always seek knowledge, ask. I love that little, I don't know what you call it, a little abbreviation. You know, do you look at other ways of making money? You know, we're not necessarily selling to them. We're just asking them. And we're looking for people that are looking for us. And for me, when I realized that I didn't have to be convincing people and always be selling ABC, like that movie with Jack Lemmon and Alec Baldwin, always be selling, that's what happens in traditional sales. I mean, if you're not always selling, you're not always making money. And one of the things here is what we want is to help people find a way to build their own business and simply market what the business is about. We don't need to be experts in electricity. We don't need to be experts in telecom. All we need to do is follow a script and make sure that people, you know, they some will, some won't, as we know. However, the questions that we ask will make it the important thing for this person. And also standing away from the expectation. So many times we hear in spiritual masters and guidance, you know, you have to let go of the outcome, be result oriented, but let go of the outcome. This is really important, because when we are too focused, we're missing out on the rest of the, one thing is to find your business goals, but when it's beyond what you're trying to do, and it's not working out, yet you're still thinking that it has to be in a certain way, that's when it actually, the goal goes further away from you. I don't know how many times I've read this from Deepak Chopra even. It is so important to let that, and it's called, I can't find the word right now, but just let go of that outcome, okay? So one of the things that I really enjoy of the clarity of Mike's message, Mike Mazer, and all of the founders, is that he in 15 minutes has already told you everything, but told you nothing, and created and piqued interest in a way that has already edified the speaker. The speaker's amazing. It's only 15 minutes. Look, I don't have all the answers to your questions. And in fact, he says, when you start answering questions, you take the interest away. What you want to do is that person be there. So can I put you down as coming, or should I invite someone else? So you're immediately taking that person, either he's in or he's out. We'll talk to him later. And so important to edify that expert, because he's the person that's going to do the work for you. And even for him, he says he doesn't have to do these presentations. He just edifies the expert that's in his downline and says, just listen to him. He's got it. Just listen to what he's doing. He's the man. This is really important for our egos, because so many times we have to think that we have to be the person with all of the answers. And what happens is that then we get blocked, because there's days that we're not up to what we feel we can do. However, if we simply keep going and in action and if following the success and building the belief, we can build that momentum again. I need to say that sometimes momentum gets lost, and you have to, momentum is wonderful when you have it, but when you don't have it, you know you don't have it. And what you need to do to build it is to get back on and believe in yourself. Build your list every day. Mike Mazer builds his list every day and invites. And the ones that you think, as we know, the things you think won't, and the ones that you think won't, will. And you never know. You never know, because you never know if it's their timing. You never know whether it's just right now they can't because they're full on with so many other projects. So you just simply have to sift through and sort these people. Now, one other important thing that Mike says is it's really not about what you're marketing. It's not whether you have the most amazing service in credit card processing, or the most amazing service in telecom, or plus we have all the technicians and all of the experts from our own providers that can figure out all of that for our customers. It's about the success people are having. It doesn't matter what you're selling. It matters what money people are making, what success they're achieving with this vehicle. And this is really important. And here's a guy 20 years ago selling cars, and to this date, one of the top leaders in the world doing the same exact thing when he started. So we have to not overthink it. Just follow success script. Just build with what other people are already doing. Not reinvent the wheel. Follow the wheel that's already been invented. Mike, Tony, Greg, and Robert started something that's still working, and they're out there having a ball too. Something that we need to do as well. So this summer, we have in Europe, the Startup RD Mania. And as I said in previous presentation, what if we found 3 friends and instead of 200 points, these 3 friends make 600 points and these 3 friends raise capital and together you build an amazing startup of your choice with this business. Nobody's saying that, you have to be the RD today, or no, the business provides a vehicle for creating wealth. And with that wealth, you can build another business. And the Mazers actually do other businesses as well. They've gotten to a point where this becomes like a money machine, like the goose with the golden eggs. This, every month, money comes in. And with that money, I mean, there's just so many beaches that you can go to and just so many things you can buy. What if you invest them in things that are long lasting for you and for your family and raise capital for these ventures? So in order for this to happen, we have to make every training count. Now, what's really important to understand is that we don't make money training. The business is not about training people. We don't earn a dime. We earn with what we do with that training, but training, coming to every training is not going to make you 1 penny richer. What makes training important is what's done with it. And so I know that every Saturday they're building these special trainings for people to build their own businesses. And with this, what makes the training important is the people that show up, the people that you invite. If you're not inviting for people to hear you, maybe it's because you don't believe in what you're talking about. Maybe you don't believe in what you're seeing and what you're doing. You have to make it worthwhile for yourself, worthwhile for your team too, and for people that listen to you. And even if there's only 2 people that come on to your training or to your presentation, you're looking for one that's going to take off and run with it. So the importance is that everybody should know. Everybody should know what you do. Everybody knows what Elon Musk does, and he doesn't care whether you think it's good or not. He finds those people. He does the SpaceX or whatever. Richard Branson, he doesn't care what you think. He's doing his project. He's going to space. He's finding those people. He doesn't need that you believe that he's going to do it. He believes that he's going to do it. And that's what makes his time worthwhile. Everyone should know what you do. Some will, some won't, so what? And that is such a truth in this business, because we're looking for the people that want to be with us. We don't have to convince them to earn money. If we have to convince them to earn money, I mean, well, we have to think, why do we want this person on board? I mean, it's such a job to convince him to make a bonus, to convince him to, it's so much easier when we find people that do the business because they want to, because they believe, because they see the value in the business. And it makes you look amazing because you have momentum now. You have people believing, you believe in yourself, and you're creating a legacy for others to believe as well. So this is what I wanted to share. I know that it might be a little bit different than, and to maybe even think that an SVP might have not been able to create momentum. You have to believe that you will do it. It doesn't matter. Everybody starts as a CQ. It's where you want to get, where you want to be. And whoever, there were times we sat in front of people that I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I would never talk to this person ever. I mean, and underneath that person are RVPs. Incredible. Incredible. So you just never know. And it's so important to just stand back from that result, stand back from those interviews and whatever, just objectively, not subjectively, do presentations. Some will, someone, so what? Some will, someone, so what? Some will, someone, so what? And edify, listen to your love lines, as Frances says so well, and build your belief with what you have around. Everyone here can, does, and will succeed. Just keep at it. And I wish you the best, wish you an awesome and amazing summer. It's going to be something amazing in September. We've already got a few hints of what's coming on board. And those founders, they're nonstop. For me, they, not only them, but their wives are there too, you know. Those people keep going, have such faith in what they're doing, regardless what other people have told them. Every year, you guys aren't going to make it, you guys aren't going to make it, you guys aren't going to make it. And what do? They go and buy their competition. You know, we're part of that. And this is really important. This is, you know, if somebody was to come from Mars and look at you, they would say, wow, you're ACN. Yes, you're part of all of that. Believe it because it's true. You and everyone on this call and the hundreds of thousands of representatives with ACN are what make ACN what it is today. And the founders know it. They started as 4, but now they're like, I don't know how many, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people around the world with a great idea, sharing it with other people. So God bless you guys. Really have a wonderful, wonderful summer. I see that Anthony is enjoying his beach background there. It's great. And I really, really appreciate your commitment to the business. It's something that you can build for yourself and believe it. And well, we'll see you around. Thank you, Frances. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Pananu. And thank you also, Daphne, for
Thank you.